Fuck Phat and Spicy.
Fuck him.
Well,
Oh.
just that spicy guy. I don't know about the fat. The fat guy's all right. The spicy guy, that guy's a dick.
Fuck that guy.
Yeah, he's a pain in the ass.
Are you wearing lipstick?
No.
Me?
Yeah.
It's chapstick.
That's a very red chapstick, bro.
My lips are naturally red. No, I think it's just glossy. Just made them shine more. That's all.
Okay.
Just the glossiness. The lips are already red. It just put the clear coat on there. So, like, if you ever painted a car, you ever seen a car with faded paint, and they put the clear gloss over it, shines that paint up. That's all.
I didn't know if you accidentally.
My lips were dry.
I didn't know if you accidentally used your girlfriend's Burt's Beads, that one that's tinted a little bit.
No.
Burt's Bees.
Burt's Beads, is that what it's called?
Yeah, Burt's Bees. It's the good stuff.
Yeah.
These birds and the bees.
What's up, guys? Phat and Spicy.
What up?
Guys, what have y'all all been up to? I know for me, I've been playing a lot of games, and I've actually been trying to I've been on this website, emulator games.
Yeah.
And I've been playing a lot of old games.
Oh.
Like what?
I downloaded I don't know if you're familiar with it, is Def Jam, DJ Def Jam, Fight for New York.
Basketball?
So it's a fighting game. Came out of the PlayStation 2. And you play as rappers such as Method Man, you fight like Snoop Dogg and stuff like that. You're going through, so it's more like you're trying to take over New York, but you have to go through the bosses, which are different rappers.
Nice.
So yeah, it was such a hit for me whenever I was growing up. I was looking through and I was like, I want to stream an old game, And I was like, what game should I stream? And it popped up on mine. I was like, I want to play that. Because I was thinking of a lot of old games that I had played back in the day that I wanted to play again, but I haven't got around to, or I don't own the console to do it.
Remember we were talking, was it yesterday we were talking about Clay Fighter?
Oh yeah, Clay Fighter.
And you blew my mind, dude. So this stupid Super Nintendo game that we used to play is now worth what? You told me?
It's something in the thousands, bro. 7,000.
Thousands. Like you said, it's one of the rarest games. And I remember us getting it at Blockbuster and playing the shit out of it.
Yeah. And that's one of the crazy things is just Blockbuster. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy in itself. God, I don't think I could ever describe that feeling to anybody that hasn't experienced it themselves, of being able to walk in. You've been waiting, you're just off of school, you're on the weekend, your parents take you in, they're looking for a movie for all of us to sit around and watch together. And you're looking for the game section. You're jetting to that game section. You're looking at all the games, big old case, and you're like, oh man, I wonder if I can get my mom to rent me a game. And luckily for you, it's buy two, get one free.
Oh,
so they're gonna get two movies and you get to rent the game for free. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I still have my Blockbuster card. I was trying to find it.
Really?
That's crazy.
Where I'm at.
Look at this. What is this? What, floppy disk?
Oh shit! You got a 3.5-inch floppy. That was my nickname in high school.
I just went through.
Oh, you're talking to me.
Fucking...
Yeah.
Who showed you that?
Yeah, there's something about that candy and carpet smell of Blockbuster that's just so wonderful, And yeah, I'll never forget. I knew one of the guys that worked there before I got a job there. And yeah, on Friday nights, my dad would take me to Blockbuster. And he'd work on the weekends, so he'd take me in to get some games so I'd stay at home and play video games all weekend, I'll never forget. I've been waiting for Bayou Billy on the original Nintendo. I walk into Blockbuster, and the guy looks at me. He's like, dude, it's in the back, and I saved you a copy. And yeah.
You knew the guy on a first name basis, bro?
He knew me on the first, because he knew I was just a crazy fucking Nintendo gamer. Dude, I had a subscription to Nintendo Power. We were talking. I had the Power Glove. I had the robot that put the little gyroscopes on things. I mean, I was Nintendo maniac.
You remember when Blockbuster used to have the adult section?
No, Blockbuster I don't think did, because they were a Christian-owned corporation.
Was it not? Maybe it was family video.
I didn't have a Blockbuster where I grew up, because I grew up in the country. Okay. We had Movie Gallery.
Okay.
Or Video Warehouse.
That sounds like
Video Warehouse definitely had a section in the back. And so did Movie Gallery. Movie Gallery had a section in the back.
Really? Was it the red curtain and everything?
I think the movie gallery was, but the
Okay.
video warehouse was a door.
Okay.
So yeah, you
You
would
see
go
guys
in-
just like slowly slipping inside.
Yeah, you're looking like you're like, ooh, what's back there? What's going on back
Yeah.
there?
Don't worry
I
about
don't know
it.
where it's at, but I have a Blockbuster card somewhere.
That's crazy, Laws. That's awesome.
Yeah.
But they also it wasn't just I think it was just more like a lot of rated R movies, like
Yeah.
things that were too spicy to put out there.
Yeah.
It wasn't just like all adult films. I think I went back there like once or twice just to see because I was curious.
We used to have the 80s workout tapes with the hot chicks and the leotards on the stands. You walk by those, as a kid in the fucking 8th grade, you're like, "Whoo,
Like, what's that?
that?"
Trying to read the credits.
Exactly. I wasn't reading the credits, son.
Oh no,
I never read Playboy for the articles.
didn't read them at all. Just
But we're talking nostalgia and we're talking about adult stuff. What was the first? What was your first foray into looking at spicy stuff on the internet?
HBO
Was it on one of those?
Static channel.
Oh, really? You had the static channel?
You know
like
that
the Spice
HBO
channel?
Static channel. You're like, oh look, and you're like, you're
Yeah.
like, oh they're just dry humping. There was no.
And then
action.
maybe you see a
And
nipple.
then all of a sudden you would hear "Girls Gone Wild." You're like, oh, what's that?
Yep.
It's
I don't think you
spring
guys want to
break.
hear about my first porn experience.
Well, I'll tell you mine is we
Okay.
got AOL, and they came with a web browser and web searcher like a Yahoo or whatever. I don't know. AOL. It was AOL.
I can already see.
And I
Spice
went to a site.
Big Bobs.
Shit. And there was a list, .jpg, .img, a list. So I clicked on one, and I'll never forget. It took 30 minutes to get a picture downloaded. Just
Yo, okay, so I was at work and we were talking about this, not at the work that y'all think I work at, because I wouldn't do that there.
what? Have you ever JO'd on the JOB?
No, you're not corporate. You're not corporate jobs.
Yeah.
We don't represent them here. Anyways, I was
Mike,
talking to a
move your
couple of
mic closer.
buddies of mine, and did it move it closer?
Yeah.
Oh man, let me see. Are we having this issue again?
Yeah, just a little bit.
How about that right there? Is that better?
There you go. That's great.
Okay, so we're sitting there, and we're not sitting there, but I was telling my friends, anyways, at work, my coworkers, and we weren't at work. We're not at work.
We're at
We
lunch
were off
break
the
out
clock.
Taco Bell.
Outside of work, off the property. Anyways, we're sitting there talking, and I was telling them, I was like, "Man, you guys don't know how good it is." Because I was the oldest one in them, the oldest one in that group. I was 10. I was like, "You guys got lucky." You know what I'm saying? It wasn't I didn't have no private cell phone I could take to the bathroom. I didn't have, you know what I'm saying, like anything like just flip it on the TV, and no streaming, no smart TVs.
Right.
Like, I remember I would go over, and if anybody of my family is watching, I am sorry, but I would go over to a buddy of mine's house, and he had a computer, and that's where we look at. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, it would take forever to load. Like I was sitting there telling him, I was like, you start off hair, forehead, eyes,
eyebrows
nose,
first.
I'm done.
Yeah. Perish forbid you got a peak of a nipple in there. You're just like, "Ah."
So I would tell them, I was like, I'll tell you what I did. I was like, I would take what Laws just showed y'all, that floppy disk, and I would put my pictures on there.
Yeah.
I'm not waiting for that image to load again.
Nope. You drag it in there, you save them up, and you got instant access.
Exactly, dude. And doing that, and then I would actually sell pictures at school to my friends.
Oh, look at you.
Oh, yeah, I was making like $1 a buck a photo. $1 a photo, and if they wanted color, that was $2.
We had a kid at school that sold magazines when we were a freshman in high school. And it wasn't like Hustler or Playboy. It was like
Teachers
really
Gone Wild.
It was there were things going in things and stuff. It was pretty raunchy, but it was well worth the $30 we gave him.
And it
Wow.
wasn't just, it was It was anime. You know, anime. One of the anime pictures. Like back in my
we
day,
had
we
Oh,
would grow. We would put the anime pictures in the front of our binder, so our binders would have like a picture in front. And everybody
okay.
wanted the Dragon Ball Z animes. You know, everybody wanted the Dragon Ball Z picture in the front. And like I said, I would sell them 50 cents. If you want color, it's $1. And if you want spicy anime, I can get you that too for $2. You know what I'm saying?
For $2.
You know what
I
I'm saying?
remember we had one girl who liked anime in high school, and we made fun of her. Not me. I didn't make fun of her, but
we had
a
this
lot of
kid
kids
who
in school did.
his dad worked as a computer tech in Japan. So he would come back with all of these computer games that were very adult, but they were games. I'd never seen such a thing, you know, running on Windows 3.1 back. And then one day he brought me a VHS tape of the first time I'd ever seen hentai, like the spicy stuff. And I was like, cartoons doing this? Why do I feel weird right now? But it was I was a sophomore in high school. No, I was a junior in high school the first time I saw that. But that was 1994. You have to remember.
Yeah. I think
I don't think Lozzie was even born.
Oh,
were you born in 94, Lozzie?
I was born in 84.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. So, but I'll tell you my first experience I ever had with porn, like actual like discovering it and like looking at it. I didn't know what it was. You know what I'm saying? Like I wasn't looking for it. I was a kid and snooping through my parents' room, found a cassette tape, and I'm in there looking for Christmas presents. You know, my mom used to hide the game system in the closet.
It's regular kid snooping.
Yeah, just regular kid snooping. Yeah. I found it, and I remember I found this VHS tape, and I remember I found it and I put it on. I was like, "What's this?" Put it on, and it was, that bow chicka wow.
Old 80s style.
Yeah, and I was like, what? I was freaked out. I was freaked out. I took the VHS out of the cassette player. I took it outside because in my mind I'm like, what the hell is going on? Yeah, what is this? Like this is crazy. And I was like, oh my God. I was a little traumatized. I was like, man, is this my dad? My dad's cheating on my mom.
Oh my God.
So I went outside, I broke it with a shovel.
Okay.
And I buried it. I buried all the little crumbs and little stuff like that. All the little
gracious. Are you serious? You actually did this?
Yeah, I did. And obviously you all got asked if we knew where a certain cassette was at. I was like, no, I know what you're talking about.
All he's like, I just want it back and I want it rewound.
Well, yeah.
All he cares about is just rewind the shit.
Yeah,
that's funny.
Yeah.
My first porno was a Jeffrey Dahmer movie.
What?
What the?
I'm just kidding.
What?
What was
it called? Hungry for Love? Come on, that was funny. That was funny. Only Laws laughed.
That's funny.
So the very first one I ever saw, it was now you have to remember how I was raised as a child. I had gay parents.
Very Catholic.
So I came across a tape called Big Man on Campus. It was not for the straight man. Things were exposed to a young man that should not have been exposed to a young man.
Oh.
Goodness. This man said Big Man on Campus.
Yeah.
How big was he?
No, don't make him relive that.
Yeah, there was a whole part of that whole afternoon that just is blocked from my mind. Why do you think I smoke?
I have one that's worse, but we're not going to talk about it on the show. I'll tell you later.
No, what did you say?
I said I have one that's worse, but
tell us off air. Yeah, tell us off air. That's funny shit. Okay, so
yeah, but I mean, honestly though, but to me, growing up, that wasn't a really big part of my childhood.
No,
no, I mean, girls in general was not just a big wasn't big. Like growing up as a kid, we were playing outside. We were We had made a dirt bike track, like a bicycle track around my the backyard of one of my neighbor's best friend's house.
Uh-huh.
We used to ride that track around and around and around with our bicycles, dude. We even had a little NASCAR flag set. We would like.
Oh, that's cool.
We had the trampoline. When the trampoline broke, we turned it into a wrestling ring.
Did you ever put
the mat down in some hay?
Sorry, go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, what'd you say? Did we ever what?
Put the baseball card inside the bicycle?
No, I didn't do that. We did. It was cans. We would run over
we
can,
did cans
and
too.
then we get stuck and grrr.
Yeah.
Here's one for you. Did any of you guys save Kool-Aid points?
No.
No. On the
Kool-Aid
packs of Kool-Aid, they had Kool-Aid points that you'd cut out, a little square. It said 1 point. And if you mailed in, they would send you a catalog. And this catalog was cool of all kinds of Kool-Aid merchandise. Like if you got enough points, you get a Kool-Aid watch or, a Kool-Aid Frisbee or something, you know what I mean? So that was one thing growing up as a child of the late 80s. I remember a lot of was the Kool-Aid point gear. I had the watch. I saved up. It was like
the one thing, like, there was only a couple things in my life that we saved as a kid, and these were one of them.
Yeah. Yeah. What about the McDonald's Monopoly?
Well, I mean, we played that, yeah.
Back in the day.
Yeah, I didn't never play. I didn't have McDonald's money.
How about this? I'll do you one better. Back, I must have been in the 5th grade. I want to say 5th grade. In our local newspaper, McDonald's had an ad, and in the newspaper was an album, a little record. You put on your record player, and it played the Big Mac recipe song "To All Beef Patties." To all beef patties.
Yeah.
Pickles. What is that? Is that the McDonald's record player?
No, it was just a McDonald's record that was in the newspaper.
Now I know there was a record that you had they released that you would win $1 million.
That's the same one.
That's the one? Okay.
Yeah, that's the one. It came in the newspaper, and if you played it and it said you're the winner of $1 million, and you won $1 million, but for the most part,
I don't remember that one.
Oh yeah, the Marlboro points.
Mm-hmm. Remember when
Marlboro jacket or something?
Remember?
Yes.
You remember when food stamps were actually paper?
Yes, I do. Yep. And on the back of certain packs of cigarettes, you had S&W green stamps.
I don't know what that was.
If you saved up enough of these green stamps, you could turn them in for shit. Well, I was taking a look at the catalog one day, and for 15,000 coupons, which you get 1 coupon per pack of cigarettes. So how many years do you have to smoke for 15,000?
Some of these people, they'll buy a whole carton and smoke that thing in a week.
That's right. Well, you take those 15,000, you get your pool table that said fucking S&W on it. Yeah, that was the big prize.
Wow.
It was a pool table. I always thought that was neat. That
it's because did it come already smelling like cigarettes?
Right, probably. it just came straight from a smoky old bar.
Yeah.
What about grocery stores, guys? Do you remember when grocery stores would give away like pottery or Tupperware or pans or pots and shit, like cookware?
No, but I remember casinos like giving away.
I remember the only thing that I remember at grocery stores back in the day. Walmart had a lobster tank. Okay.
Walmart had a lobster tank?
Walmart had a live lobster tank.
Okay.
And you could go in there and pick out your own lobster. They used to have little what else? They had the candy section, the little candy you fill up your own bags and stuff. You scoop up.
The bulk candies.
Yeah, the bulk candy. They had that. What else did they have up in there? And then later on, they tried to do the couponing thing where the electronic coupons that would come out in the aisle. They would print them out. We would just run by and just snatch them out.
Everybody just starts grabbing them. Yep, we did that.
It was horrible.
Grandma used to take us to Safeway.
One of my favorite times though was when cereal boxes came with prizes.
Oh yeah, dude. The prize. Some of those were.
I remember that.
Really
cool. Yeah.
Some were
I remember we used to when CD-ROMs and stuff started to come out. We used to get games. Coming out of there.
Yeah.
Just the other day I was playing Oregon Trail, just because I wanted to go back and just because I only played it at school. I think the wife that I had made, she kept getting that thyroid or thyroid. I don't know what it is. I don't know. Something wrong with the thyroid. I don't know. I about booted her out there.
Typhoid.
Yeah, typhoid. Yeah, that one. Typhoid. Yeah. I was like, what is that? Keep pushing. Keep pushing. She'll be all right.
Keep pushing. The wagon train forward, motherfucker.
Yeah. She's all right. But going back, dude. I remember you used to get the spoons, the little cereal spoons.
Yes. Or the crazy
Get
straws that
Wait, the
remember?
ones that changed colors, the cereal spoons that
Oh, I
changed
remember
colors.
this. Yep, I remember those.
So,
In
do
the
you
bowl.
remember? You remember when the prizes were in the bag, like in the
Yes.
cereal bag, buried in the
Yeah,
cereal?
yeah,
They
absolutely.
changed that. You know that, right? That was crazy.
You know, it's funny that you say that. I never really even noticed it.
Yeah, they changed it, and then they put it on the outside of the bag, inside the box, and then they just stopped doing it altogether.
Yeah.
Now there's no prizes. It's like scan here and you get a virtual pet for your phone. I'm like, shut
Dude,
up.
even the mazes and stuff on the box, on the bag, the riddles and stuff, all I got lazy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Lazy.
Yeah.
And I missed that. I would sit there, and my box of cereal, I'd be like this. I'd be like,
Oh,
you know,
absolutely. I'd be shoveling it in my mouth while I'm reading that thing.
Did you
but
guys
I
ever?
guess now it's just
Did you guys ever get the McDonald's Flintstone cups, the glass
Yes.
ones?
The Flintstones, the Charlie Brown, the Star Wars cups. I had them all.
Yeah.
I think the only thing that I ever really got to connect again when I grew up, we didn't have fast food money. There was food at the house, you know? So
That's right.
I didn't get to indulge like that. But I remember the Dragon Ball Z phase where they had the little Dragon Ball Z characters. They had the Pokemon, the Pokeballs with the gold little Pokemon thing, and they had the little keychain Pokemon. So Pokemon was really big when I started, when I was growing up, and I used to collect it. And we talked about this before,
Yeah.
you know. And we would collect cards. I had all the little Pokeballs with the little gold Poke things. Like I love that stuff. Like to me, that's my childhood. That's what I liked. You know, that was my treasures exactly.
Yeah.
And growing up, and one day, like I said, one day, my mom, my dad, they were just very religious. They got it in them that the church wanted to decide that Pokemon's for the devil and burn all of our Pokemon cards and everything, and all of our Pokemon toys, everything.
So I think we talked about this too. We talk about a lot, but my grandmother was the same way. And while we're on the subject, what is it with like the old Hispanic ladies where they mix like almost like voodoo with religion? Because my grandma was the hardest core Catholic you'll ever meet. But she'd go to the guy that rubs the egg and does the sage burning and gives her the special candles, and you have to put these oils on your money and blah, blah, blah. And she believed that shit too. So I never understood how you could mix those two, but I always thought it was crazy. But growing up, she did the same thing.
I don't blame religion on that because
I don't either.
Religion doesn't change, but the perception of how people perceive it changes.
I get that.
You understand what I'm saying? It's like, you know, it's like a gun. You blame the gun for killing somebody, or is it the person that has the gun?
Right. But
what's that famous
with all
quote?
of that, but with all of that came her burning my cousin's D&D books, burning the Smurfs because they were little blue devils. You know, she burned, and like I've said before, all you're doing, the people from her church would go out and buy these books and these toys to burn them. I'm like, all you're doing is making profit for these people. You're not proving anything.
Yeah.
I didn't have psychotic parents or grandmas.
No, just out.
No, well, grandma would come home and she'd be like, "Oh, we went to this thing where we burnt all these toys that were demonic. You could hear the screams of the demons as it was on fire." And I thought to myself, "Wait, I thought demons lived in hell. Wouldn't they love the fire?"
It was probably the batteries inside the toys. You're not supposed
That's
to.
That's what I'm saying, right? Yeah.
It's the demons.
It's the demons, Anson.
Those are double A batteries, is what those are.
You don't put those.
I remember, dude. I remember growing up. Shout out to a girlfriend I had at the time. Mindy. She had got me the Diablo for my birthday. She got me because she knew I liked, you know, medieval stuff. She knew I liked RPGs and stuff like that. I didn't have much of that. You know what I'm saying? Like I couldn't just go and tell my mom, you know, hey, I want this game, and they'd get it for me, you know, or even the money that I worked for. Like it was all, hey, let me hold it. I'll hold on to it for you. You know. So she got me the Diablo game. The pack. Like it was the big pack, the big Diablo pack.
With the big red devil on the front.
Like the big red Diablo said, yes, dude.
I remember.
And I was so excited. I used to take this thing with me everywhere, dude. Like I never got to play it because I never got to install it, but I would take it with me. You know what I'm saying? Because I know for a fact I couldn't leave it at the house. Oh, but I was just so excited to have it. You know what I'm saying? I would look at the cover work. I would look at the back. I'd read it. You know, like I was like, oh, I was excited. I was ready to play it. You know, and I remember one day, dude, coming home from school, dude, my mom found it, and it was gone. Like
what year were you born again? I always forget.
1990, the best year there ever was. That's when Will Smith went up there and fought the aliens for us. Independence Day.
I was 13.
In 1990, I was 6.
So yeah, dude, that was like I said, it sucked, man. It sucked. Still didn't get to play a game, but again, like I said, it was just I don't know.
How many years went by till you were actually able to play the first Diablo? He's like, I've still never played it. The
first Diablo? No, I've never played it. I got into like Diablo 2, 3, you know what I'm saying, and then now the newest one. Did Spicy freeze on the cough?
No, I think he's. Oh,
maybe he froze mid cough. That's them damn demons your grandma was talking about coming back.
You guys can hear me, right?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Yeah, all right. I heard the whole thing. I don't know why my video cuts out like that.
We got
to update TNS Studio West because this is ridiculous here.
Oh yeah, but no, man. I growing up, dude. Computer games, man. Oh man, I tell people all the time that I tell kids, they're like, I grew up, there wasn't no internet. What?
Yeah. There was no updates. I bought a Nintendo game, and that's all there was. And if you got stuck, well, good for you. Maybe there was a hint in Nintendo Power.
Dude, speaking of games and hints, bro, I miss cheat codes.
Remember the Game Genie?
I'm in cheat code books, dude. I used to go to the Walmart with a notepad and a pencil.
Yeah, no shit. I'd go to the library and make photocopies just to have them.
And what was that? What's the thing you plugged into? What is it? A Game Shark?
Game Genie, Game Shark, and Game Genie, both of them. Yeah. And that came with a book that gave you you put in this code, you get infinite lives for this game. And every single game that came out had a Game Genie or Game Shark code. It was crazy.
Yeah, I didn't have a Game Shark or a Game Genie, dude. I had to.
I don't remember that either.
At Walmart.
If you left it in the system, it would bend your pins. So once you were done playing it, you had to remember to take it out and take the cartridge out. Otherwise, it would bend the pins permanently and it wouldn't connect right. Yeah,
I remember fixing the pins on the NES game.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Everybody wanted to like blow through it. That had nothing to do with it.
It worked.
Hey, they work now.
It worked.
Rarely.
It worked.
Come on, rarely.
If
it worked every time.
Hit that mother like that right there.
But the problem is that when my cousin gave me a wise warning one day. He saw me doing it, and he goes, "All you're doing is putting moisture on those pins and then connecting it to the thing. It's going to rust.
Yeah,
on the inside." He's like, "Don't do that."
The one thing I would do is take the alcohol with the Q-tip.
Yes, I've done that. And it's surprising how black it is.
Yeah, my mom used to put hairspray on the VCR to get it to work. I don't know, man.
We watching a movie till you fix my dude.
Crickets and silence. That was awesome. Just dead silence.
There was something about it, like the VCR stopped working. She would open it up, put hairspray in it, and it would.
That's what we call paranormal activity.
Jesus.
We didn't really play games when we played games, but like I remember sitting in the living room when I don't even know how old I was, playing an Atari when I was super, super tiny. And then as I got older, when my parents divorced and got remarried, my dad and his wife and their 2 kids, like they never allowed us to play video games. We just fought over the video player all the time, the console all the time. So they were just like, go outside and play.
Yep. Remember what I was telling you the other day? Either you all play or none of you play.
Yeah.
Well, here's what.
That was the rule in my house.
I was a shit.
We know you were spoiled.
I'm still getting over that.
Don't puke.
That's what happens when you celebrate 420 every day of the week.
Well, there's that. So what I would do is I'd play Super Mario Brothers with my cousin. He was like 5. So I'd hold the player 1 controller. He'd hold the player 2. And then if I died, we'd switch controllers. So that way I got to play the player 2, and he's sitting there hitting the buttons thinking he's fucking playing it. And then when he dies, he'll give me the controller, and we have to do it like that. And it took about a year before he fucking realized, wait a minute, how come I moved left and he didn't move left? Like, oh shit.
The buttons messed up on it. You got the messed up.
I don't know what's going on, man. Yeah,
I don't know if you had a messed up remote. Did you have a messed up remote at any time, like a messed up controller at any time? Because I know when like our cousin or somebody, like when the neighbor would come over, the kid, they could come over.
You give him the shitty controller.
You get the shitty controller.
Oh yeah.
You get the non-name brand controller,
right? Yep. You get Nintendo.
Yeah.
Nintendo.
Exactly.
That's funny.
Oh my god.
Oh man.
But I miss that, dude. I miss that. I think, and I think I missed the bonding. You know what I'm saying? The
Yeah.
bonding with my family, bonding with my brothers, dude. Because I know for a fact our family entire. And I'm not talking about my intermediate family, like my mom, my dad, my brothers. I'm talking about my family as far as my cousins and everything. We were all so tight together.
Yeah.
You know, because again, people were going into these houses. We were going over to eat. We were going to go see people because there was no phones. There was like there was landlines. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
Connected
people
to
were
the
still
wall.
used to driving. Like we were driving. We were going to go see. We're going to go out there. We're going to go hang out. And my parents would drop us off at my grandma and grandpa's house.
Mhm.
And my grandma would
Remember
sit
when-
there and she'd be like, "Don't you fucking
Remember
move
when
from that spot! I'm gonna
company
beat your
would
ass."
come over?
Huh?
Remember when company would come over?
Oh my god, the house had to be spotless.
Right? And there's always like some food in the cupboard that you're not allowed to fucking touch.
Yeah, dude.
For us, it was an Entenmann's crumb cake. Grandma's like, "That's for company. Don't you fucking touch that." I'm like, "All right, Jesus."
My stepmom used to always have stuff that we
ours
couldn't
was
touch.
this. They're coming over. Y'all go outside. I'll call you when you can come back inside.
Yeah, we had that too. My stepmom always had like little snacks that we could never touch in her cupboard because there would be like, like Fig Newtons, but they would be like strawberry ones or
Good
like
ones.
yeah, the good ones or
There's
like
good Fig Newtons. What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, they make some good Fig Newtons.
Or like the strawberry like little Debbie's or some kind of cookie or something like that, and she'd be like, "Those are mine. Nobody can have them," because she knew if the kids got a hold of them, everybody would fucking eat them.
They'd just be gone in a minute.
They'd be
Yeah, I get
gone.
that. That's my house. That's my house. How many times
Yeah.
I buy something, I'm at the store, I'm like, I can't wait to try that. I go to try it like 3 days later, it's fucking gone.
Yeah.
Welcome
And
to
the bag
dad
with
life.
crumbs is still in the damn cabinet.
Oh
Hate
my
that.
god, I hate that, dude. I hate that. You get in there, going to go get some cereal.
Bro.
It's like
I would rather you ate them
in the
all and
bottom.
threw the box away than reach into the empty box and be like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah,
You know?
Yeah.
I know,
That shit
trust
still
me.
happens, and everybody's adult here. Does not stop. When I was over in China, I remember I had a roommate at the time, and she had met somebody over there, and she would always bring him over, and he would come over and chill, and he'd eat my food, which I don't have a problem if you eat my food, dude. Like, it's fine. Like, whatever, you can have whatever you want. But he would always leave, like, I remember I had some milk in there that was actually bad, and I needed to throw it out. He drank it, but it was like, yeah. But he drank like all of it except like a little tiny bit, and then he had some of my like turkey meat to make a sandwich, and he ate all of it except like a little bitty like slice,
A sliver, yeah.
a slither. And I was like, dude, I don't care if you eat my food, just finish it. Like,
Yeah.
take it, throw it away. I don't want to come to something and then like open the drawer. Oh, I'm gonna make a sandwich, grab the bag. I don't know.
No, fuck that. He can get his own fucking food. What are you talking about? It's okay. Isn't it? Hell no.
Well, it's
I don't
also the
mind.
same in my
Damn.
fucking kitchen, man. When I go in there and I've got sauces that I have in the morning, I'm talking my kitchen at work. Like, I walk in there and I need the ranch, right? I need to get some ranch for somebody. I open the cabinet. There's that much ranch in the bottom of the thing. It's like you couldn't wash that and refill another one. You were so fucking, your whole life is so busy that you couldn't take care of this.
You see what
Yeah.
you did? You see what you did? You bring out the fucking angry fucking spicy. You happy now?
I got my
Oz?
chef
You
hat
happy
on. And
now?
all right, listen, motherfuckers.
You happy now?
That's funny.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
But yeah, like I said, dude, I miss the entirety of bonding, dude. Seeing all the family together, and just playing board games. You know what I'm saying? Just sitting around and playing.
Yeah.
Why don't you keep doing it?
Oh no,
Now they have karaoke nights and they get plastered.
no, yeah, that too. But I think it's just I will say, and I would admit this, that I'm ruined as well. You know, like my attention span and my boredom radar is off the charts. And I was like, I get bored of that shit.
I have
When
a
you
friend
come into
that
the
still
modern
plays
time.
board games with her
Yeah.
parents every time she goes down there. When she was living there, they played board games every Sunday night. And now when she goes down there and visits, they always have a board game night.
That's cool. My mother-in-law, she was big on like whenever we had a cookout, her and my wife and I would sit around and play dominoes and drink beer, you know?
Yeah.
There's always something. I get
I thought it
that.
was eat Dominoes and drink.
No, I don't eat, dude. I don't eat shit pizza. I'm a pizza chef. Come on.
The views. In case we need a sponsor
wanna-
later on, they want to
Oh,
sponsor.
no, I'm
sponsor
not
us,
even-
Domino's, man. I'll eat
Okay.
fucking Dominoes right in front.
I want to play Cards
Wait.
Against the Humanity 2 Vampire.
There you go.
Yeah.
I was literally telling these guys, I was like, we can go in and we can go into the VR chat world and get a karaoke lobby. VR chat.
Yeah.
I'm with it.
Let's do that tomorrow
I'm
night.
down.
I'm down tomorrow night.
I'm
Let's do it.
down.
I'm down
Right,
tomorrow.
so we'll
I
be
can't
doing-
tonight.
How do you
We'll
get
do it
into the
tomorrow.
VR chat?
You just gotta download it.
Is
I
it
think it's on
free?
Steam, right? Yeah.
You don't have to be. It's not just VR. You can go in there with just a controller.
It's free?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, guys, if you want to see, I'll stream it. It won't be something that it'll probably get muted and monetized. I mean, not monetized, but muted, but it'll be all right. We can still stream it.
We still stream it.
Oh,
I mean, it's VR chat. How can you not? I don't understand how they can copyright that. I mean,
No, they're gonna copyright the music when we sing.
come here.
but it's not your fault what other people play
Hi.
in a stream. Hey, Catso.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Oh,
Look at that
Lee.
woolly cat.
He's
That's a fat
beast.
cat.
Say hello.
I'm down, Spicy. You got a wife now. What are you talking about?
Look at that big guy.
Did you ever do theater as a kid, dude?
Oh yeah, dude. I was in
I didn't
hundreds
get.
of plays.
I wish my school had like a program and stuff.
Come
like
here.
that. I would have been.
I'll-
on it.
I went to a school after high school. My college was a place called the Portland Actors Conservatory, and it was all theater study. The first year is all classroom work. Like quite literally, you just sit in a classroom and you study history of theater, theater movement, theater everything. We even took theater combat, like how to fight on stage and not hurt anybody.
Really? That's
And then
awesome.
the second year was just putting on plays. And the last play we did was Shakespeare, and we did Macbeth, and it was the hardest fucking thing I've ever done.
I think the most thing that I've ever done as far as theater wise, me and my best friend Devin, and then my girlfriend at the time, they had caught wind that we like to draw, and they hired us to paint the chocolate waterfall for the Willy Wonka.
Oh, for the play? Nice. So yeah, you've had some theater work if you're doing stage design and shit. That's cool.
But that was it. Like I wanted it to actually do. You know what I'm saying? Like I would actually like to have done it. I didn't like all of my RP, my role play. Dude, you would think that maybe I did do that as a kid. I was in marching band, but my like experience.
What did you
with,
play
like,
in marching band?
trumpet?
How?
Easy, one hand, 3 fingers.
Jesus.
That's why he's so.
I like this.
At least
Got a
that's
little
what it
arthritis now. You know they're not as fast as they used to be. Can't dish out them Yu-Gi-Oh cards like a man. But I didn't get like to think that of the characters that I play in my video games, the role play and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think that I am like
Yeah.
kind of like
Dude,
Year
today we
back.
were playing that backseat game, and how quickly do we just fall into who we are? Like instantly.
yeah.
I
yeah.
was grandma, you were fucking the kid in the back with the attitude, and we
Yeah.
switched off, and it
What?
was like totally. Oh yeah, you go watch the streams.
It's on the stream. It's on YouTube. Yeah. Guys, if you want to see, I can go check out RSP Hat Gaming and the new Spicy one. But yeah, dude, I think my love for that came from books. But Romeo and Juliet, I loved reading, dude. I loved reading. Edgar Allan Poe, with the stuff there. Because I mean, I didn't have books besides the Bible at home. I like religious stuff.
So where did you get your access? Would you like just go to the library and sit for hours, or was it a school library? Like where was, because you said you had the Bible at home. Where were you getting your exposure to the books?
School, like that's where I got my books
School.
from. Like we would get these big literature books, like huge, thick ones. They would have multiple stories in them.
Oh, that's
I would
cool.
I would just read through them.
You
Like I would
sit
just
and
read.
George, yeah.
Yeah. That's what I like to do. And the library was okay, man. But I don't know, dude. And then my role play and improv came from Yahoo chat rooms, MSN chat rooms, dude. And like, that's where that came from.
Hey, I played for
Just-
a year and a half in an AOL chat room where we were on a Starship Enterprise.
And I think what it was is just the want to be somewhere else in life.
Yeah. So is that, now that we're talking nostalgia, right? Because I start thinking too, what was it about the video games that I threw myself into? And I'm going to tell you guys something. I remember on my old 486 computer, I got the game X-Wing. And I worked at a radio station at the time, and this guy gave me the game, showed me how to set it all up, and then he goes, by the way, kid, because I loved working in radio. He loved me because he knew I was going to do this for a living. He goes, by the way, kid, I got something for you. And he reached into his engineer's closet, and he pulled out a joystick. He goes, this is for you. Take this home and play this fucking game.
Was it like the button with the red
It was
button
an
on top?
actual joystick. Yeah, it had one button
Oh,
on top,
old
one
school.
Like
trigger.
the Atari
and-
one?
No, not really,
No.
but it was just a joystick for PC.
It's like
and
a
it had the
pilot's
serial-
joystick.
Yeah, and it had suction cups on the bottom. And boom, put them on your desk and you play, right? And I played X-Wing.
Playing Doom.
And the first, well, no, I played X-Wing, the one he gave me,
Nukem?
right? So here's the deal. In that game, every time you finished a mission, like you would either land the ship, or if you died, like either the Empire would come and pick you up, or like your rebels would come and rescue you. You know, like you're floating in space. There's all these little cool cutscenes of everything. The more damage you got done to your ship in the game when you landed, your ship was either like pristine or fucked up, or more fucked up. Well, one of the cool things was after the end of each mission, you got a little ribbon on your uniform. You like little bars, or medals and shit. And I remember one night I was feeling I had a flu and I was playing the game, and I remember finishing the game. I just got a ribbon and I went and I lay in bed. And in my mind, to fall asleep, I was telling myself the story of like, you just finished that mission, you got banged up, you feel like shit. Don't worry, pilot, you'll be fine. And I fell asleep just like that, thinking I was an X-Wing pilot in my barracks after a mission. It was so intense.
Funny.
So you start thinking about like what you said, the escapism of it. Is that really all that it is? Is it that we wanted any method to escape? Is that why I still play these RP games today, like Red Dead and shit? Because I just need an outlet?
It's a way to be
Or is it a
creative.
creative outlet?
I think it's both. I think it's all of the above. I think it's a way to escape. I think it's a creative outlet. I think it's a way for us to expand our minds and be able to dream about things that we never get to experience, or just be somewhere else for a minute, or distract our minds from what's really going on in our lives, or
Yeah, think about it. If you didn't want to escape into somewhere else, you wouldn't be creative.
Well, but is it that, or is it that that's just a creative outlet for, because I love to act, and this is a way for me to act on the fly. I can log into Red M as soon as we're done with the show, and I can lights, camera, action. I'm my character playing the improv of the whatever. You know what I mean?
But that's, like I said, that's the longing. That's the longing that you have to be more than what you currently are. Like some people say, I was born to be a star, or I was born to be on the radio. I was born to be on TV. I was born to be in front of a camera. People know this. Like you feel it. When you feel it, when you're comfortable, when you do it, there's a reason that you are the way you are. There are no mistakes.
Right.
And I think people like us, we're creative, and we're meant to be creative, and we just find different outlets because we don't have guides. We don't have anybody that's there to mold us and say, hey, really this is what you need to do.
So I have a story. There's this guy.
I just let me just put a cherry on top. Hold that for 1 second. The cool thing about all of that is how in the midst of everything that you just said, you can also meet some really cool people.
Yeah.
The three of us met doing this.
Yeah, I met some cool people. I met Laws.
Thanks.
I love you, Spicy. Come on now, man.
Yeah. I know you think you do. Sorry, Lozzie. I'm sorry. What's your story, man?
No, you're good. So there's this guy. I'm not going to tell you who he is, but there was this man. He wrote this story, and he was like, "Oh man, nobody's ever going to like this. This is so like out of the box. People are going to find it weird. People are going to find it strange. It's just like my way of thinking and what I think is something that's creative and out of the box is." He's like, this is trash. So he crumbles it up, throws it in trash. Well, his wife comes in and she sees something in the trash, and she was like, what is this? It was like a bunch of like typed up things. So she pulls it up and she reads it, and she's like blown away by this story. And she goes to him and she said, what are you doing? Why'd you throw this away? He's like, nobody's going to want to read that. Nobody is going to read that. Like nobody at all. She's like, no, this is what people want. You have to publish this. You have to publish this. Well, that ends up being Stephen King, and the book was Carrie.
And now you know the rest of the story. I'm sorry.
So
that's awesome, though.
He almost threw it away. He was just like, nobody's going to want to read this. This was that his first book? I don't know if it was his first book. Was it his first?
There's one that I don't know, but that's pretty cool.
But it was so out of the box. Awesome. He was just like, nobody's going to want to read this.
But that's what it takes. And that's what I tell people all the time at work. When they sit there and say, I want to do this, I want to do that. I'm like, do it.
Do it.
Do it. It's the hardest step is the first one.
Yep.
The same way that when we started the show, when we were just like, hey, man, I want to do
We
a
should
podcast.
do this.
And
How do we-
Spicy
what are we
said,
gonna
well, let's
do?
fucking do it. I said,
Turn the camera
just like
on, dude.
that.
Let's
He's
go.
like, just turn the camera. You got a camera. I got a camera. Let's fucking do it. I said,
Let's
is it really that easy? Because in my mind, it was not. It was an obstacle. It was something that I couldn't fathom. It was just an idea that I had.
I mean, I was
And-
streaming by then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
even streaming, like
I had
I
been
would
streaming,
do all the
yeah.
all the gaming and stuff like that, all the role play that I did. I didn't stream till 2 years into me role playing,
Right. And imagine
And
where
people-
you'd be if you'd started.
and people were like,
With the
"Dude, you're
characters.
great, you're good, man. We
Yeah.
we want to see behind the." I was like, I didn't think you would want to see that shit because I mean, who wants to see how a play is running? They want to see the play at the end. Nobody wants to see the guy running around backstage fixing everything.
But they kind of do. That's why you
They
have
don't.
behind the scenes. That are so
Again,
awesome, you know
I
what
didn't
mean?
think that,
Yeah.
I didn't think it was anything special, the same way that when I create things, again, to me, it's nothing special because it's just something ordinary that I do.
Yeah.
Um,
Somebody in one of my streams one day said, "You have a gift for this," and I thought to myself, "I'm not doing anything different, but just having fun. I don't
Yeah.
realize that it's a gift or that I'm a talent at it, but apparently some people think so."
yeah, dude. And like I said,
And it's like the other thing you said, like when I said, let's start it. It's the same thing you told me one day. You're like, if you're gonna fucking play the game, you might as well goddamn stream it. You know what? You want to be a streamer? You want to make money doing it? Then stop playing games without the fucking stream on. Just go fucking stream the game and make your way, or shut the fuck up about it.
That's true.
I took
That's
your
true.
advice.
That's the same advice that I used to give women all the time.
Just
Sit
shut
there.
the fuck up.
He's a piece of shit. I'm tired of him. I'm tired. And every time it's the same thing. I'm like, I give you the advice to do this, do this. I don't want to do that. I can't do that. I don't want to
Yeah.
do that. Well, then
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I said, look, I'm not trying to be mean. I'm not trying to be rude, but either leave them, shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
Just
or
do
shut
it.
the fuck up.
Yeah.
That's the
Because
real
it's the
key,
same
right?
thing. It's the same thing over and over again. And at some point, you have to take some sort of initiative in your own life to say, hey, that's it.
That's it.
Some people
Shooter,
just
get
don't
off
know
the
how to
pot.
take that first step. And sometimes for us, people who are like on the outside, I've dealt with this a lot being a social worker and just having known women who have been in like shitty situations. They're like, oh, I can't do it on my own. Oh, you have people, don't you, to help you? Yeah. Well, I just don't know how I'm going to leave. Just get in your car and drive off. Yeah.
It's no different than a quest.
Yeah.
You don't know where the quest is going to take you. You just follow the road signs until you get to the next checking point. That's
Yeah.
all you can do.
But I will say that some people have had the fear instilled in them, and they think
that's-
that if they leave, something's going to happen, or something's going to happen to their kids.
But
Or
I'll tell you this. Nobody out there in their mind that is sane has ever made a change in their life without a little bit of fear.
It's true.
But the thing is, and the same thing I tell my daughter when I say, in life, you're going to fail. You're going to fail. Expect to fail. Expect to fall. Nothing you do is going to be perfect the first time. I said, so expect it and know it. But the thing is that you don't allow that fear, you don't allow that fuck up to stop you from doing it. If you allow that to happen, you will stay in the same spot for the rest of your life.
yeah,
More is lost by indecision than by bad decision. You know what I mean? Maybe it was a bad decision. Maybe it was a bad decision that we started the show, but we'd never know it unless we did it. If we were indecisive about it and just, maybe we got to get this, we got to do it. We'd never have done it. You know what I mean?
Sure.
But more is lost by indecision than bad decision. I'm just saying, you'll never know unless you fucking try. And that really is the moral of the story. Fucking try anything. I don't give a shit.
yeah.
Try it. And if
Don't
you
try
don't like it, we can turn back.
That's right. Good callback. Good callback to Critical Idiots, my friend. Which, by the way, how sad is it that that's over?
Dude.
Can I
Oh, man. It was,
can I be honest?
Do you guys have a cheaper D&D this time?
we
No.
will get AG on this.
We're getting there. But we walked out of that mound and we just made our way to the next town. Curtain.
Well,
No
we made our way to
closure.
the wagon.
You're right. No closure. I didn't get to go back to my school. You didn't get to write your book. It was like it didn't feel like it
It
wound
didn't
up
feel
into a
like it
package.
ended, which I think
there was-
I like. I like the fact that it didn't end because I do want to continue on with Eleanor. I do want to continue on with Kale. I do want to continue on with Unveil. I want to see where that story goes because we're invested.
Yeah.
I want to see where it goes. If we would have all died there, I would have been kind of like a little bummed. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn.
Actually, that would have been, to me, it would have been more closure than where we left it, though.
I didn't want to die. I wanted us to be battered and beaten and walking into the sunset off that mountain.
Okay, fair enough. I get it.
And just being
you got your wish, buddy.
So, but guys, if you are interested in D&D, we are going to be taking registration. You can find it on the Penis Studios on Facebook. You can send us a message there. You can email us fatspicy@gmail.com, guys. Send us the email if you want to be on the next Critical Idiots. We have 5 slots. Well, there's 5 slots available in total.
Right. I think we have 1 open right now, right? Is Kale going to join us for the next campaign?
We don't know.
I mean, Devin. Is Devin, does he want to?
We'll have to see, like I said, because it's all about availability as far as time.
That's true. That's true. And for our DM now, it's not like we have Aaron again.
Yeah. Shout out to Aaron, guys.
Lozzie. Yeah, dude. By the way, before we get to Lozzie's videos, because I know she's got some stuff she really wants to show us, I have to do this. To Aaron, one of the best DMs I've played with in a long, long time. Salute, buddy.
Salute.
I would love to join you guys for some of those videos or not videos. Oh my god,
D&D
some
matches?
of those D&D matches. Yeah, it's just that there was no way I could have afforded what you guys were paying a week.
He was more on he was on the expensive side, but
yeah,
that's crazy because there's even more expensive than him.
So, yeah, and if we even,
but there's people who are just as good that are not as expensive.
But the thing, I will tell you this: the way that I will tell you this, when you don't pay somebody, you can't hold them accountable.
That's true. That's true. That's why you can't fire me, Jacob.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just
I can't
saying,
hold
though,
them to a schedule, though. I can't be like,
even if it's just like $5 a week,
Yeah,
well, like I said, definitely add $20 to that.
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, definitely, we want to make sure that we get something that's a little more price friendly for everybody. So it will be less than $20. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking for $15, $10.
I'm looking for 10 to 15 would be perfect.
Yeah. So
that's what.
Like I said, it's 3 to 4 hours long. So we're getting all it's worth. You know what I'm saying? But again, if you're interested in playing that, guys, before we dive into lots of videos, make sure you email us fatspicy@gmail.com. And new players and old players are recommended.
Next week, we're also going to have our 800 number back up.
We'll have our 800 number, guys. If you want to call in and just scream something into them, just don't say anything racist, okay? That's right. That's Spicy's job.
Yeah.
No hard R's. The R's aren't hard except for eight.
I will say it. My last name, Rubio. Anyways.
Rubio. All right. Lozzie, you got something to show us. Show us, baby.
So these are just some videos. I kind of want to see what you guys think about them. They're just some random ass videos. I was scrolling on the Instagram last night, and I just kind of want to get your guys'
No, that's
opinions.
Okay. So anyway, Jacob, about that. I'm just kidding.
They are they're not nostalgic, but they are definitely just videos. I'm just kind of curious what you guys thought. So the last little 10 minutes that we have here, thought it'd be a good little fun time.
Let's see what you got. I'm itching for it.
All right, let's make sure I have all the volume up here.
Turn it up. All right, what do we got?
Okay. No, there's always been that conspiracy of like Mountain Dew flavors like coincide with like big major events. They had something with Maui that when the Maui fires happened, right? Last year they brought back, and then we had like the biggest IT blackout of all time.
Oh my gosh.
And there was another one, the tropical flavor, and it was like the tropical swirl. And then we had all those crazy hurricanes.
Is there one with Code Red?
I can't remember if there was, but then they brought a Star Spangled Splash flavor for 4th of July last year. And then, no joke, later on, that bridge collapsed. But guess what the name of the bridge was called? Francis Scott Key. The guy who wrote the Star Spangled Banner! Isn't that wild? And so they just released a new flavor. Purple Thunder is the new flavor.
Purple Thunder?
Well,
I do have the Code Red conspiracy. Code Red was only a few months before 9/11 when it debuted.
Shut up.
That's
kind of crazy.
Mountain Dew is owned by Pepsi, correct?
Yes.
And we do know that Pepsi worked with the CIA that one time to overthrow the Chilean government.
Yes, that's true.
Does the CIA work with
Pepsi? No, they don't work with Pepsi.
Have you guys heard about
What do you guys think?
I think that I
actually
need to
saw
wash
that,
my eyes
and
out.
I saw that and I actually looked through it, and I was looking through some of it. Some of the date lines of the actual the product being released doesn't really correspond with what the narrative that they have.
Whoa,
Okay.
whoa,
Um,
time out, Jacob. Debunking instead of
hey, the fact that I already seen it, and I was like, I was gonna put it on the show, and I was like, nah, let me not.
I was all about you being ready. I was ready for you to be like, yeah, man, I this is 100% true, man.
You know, I wanted to believe it was true. I wanted to, but again, I need to have like a little bit of
They released
common
Purple
sense.
Thunder. Prince is coming back from the dead.
Yeah, Purple Rain.
All right, this next one here.
The first Dumbledore.
Oh yeah.
It was later in his life. He
Wait,
saw
hold
a
on.
picture.
What?
Oh my gosh.
The first
That's okay.
Dumbledore.
Oh yeah.
It was later in his life. He saw a picture with him sitting in front of a Rolls Royce. He's like, I don't have a Rolls Royce. He's like, I've never owned a Rolls Royce. And it said that he was like so confused by it and asked like everyone he knew. He's like, do I own a Rolls Royce? And then it said that he like contacted his 2 ex-wives. He's like, did I ever buy a Rolls Royce for me or you?
You guys.
And they're like, no. Turns out he had a drinking problem.
Oh no.
And he was in New York, and this guy gifted him a Rolls Royce, and he left it in a parking garage in New York City. Completely forgot about it for like 20 years.
It's still there.
Still there, and the parking fee was over $400 a month. So he paid over $90,000 to have this Rolls Royce parked there. But he was so rich, like he's just like,
Yeah, he's got that
he's like,
Hogwarts
I don't know
money.
what this bill is, but yeah.
Hogwarts money.
Oh my
But
gosh.
he owned a Rolls Royce and completely forgot about it.
Could you imagine
That's
But he
being
did take the picture in front of it.
Can you imagine having a Rolls Royce that somebody just gave you and just be like, oh,
Can you
forgot about
imagine
it?
being that rich and not even notice?
Yeah.
Can you imagine being that drunk to not realize that somebody gave you a fucking expensive car that you left in a garage for 20 years?
20 years.
I've been
20
drunk. I'm not
years.
sober right now, but I'm not drunk. But I've
Speaking of
been drunk, and
Alcohol
I've never.
intake, dude. I was always
Ever.
amazed by how much Andre the Giant would take down.
Well, you're so big, dude. Like this can that I've got would look that big in his hand.
I
you
know, but just the
was
fact he was just down on them, bro. Like,
Well, but think about it, right? If you had a Coors Light can that was that big, you could drink 50 of them.
do you believe in giants?
No.
No.
I believe that with our current gravity, they would collapse under their own size.
Why
Get 'em
don't
out-
we
get 'em
collapse
out of
under our
Get
size
him out
then?
of here. Get him out of here.
Because we're not 8 feet tall.
Why don't
No.
trees collapse? I mean, there's people who are 7 foot, like 3.
Now, I do believe that in the ancient times, when our ecosystem was different, there was more oxygen in our atmosphere. That's why we had those dragonflies that had those 6-foot wingspans, was because of the oxygen-rich atmosphere. It promotes growth. And I do believe that back in biblical times, it was much more fresh air, much more oxygen. And I do believe that people could have grown taller. Now, there's that theory, are they Nephilim? Were they the sons and daughters of angels who came down to earth and mated with human women and made giants, hence David and Goliath, because they mentioned Goliath was a Philistine, but the Philistines were of Nephilim descent. I don't think so. I think that's a bunch of hogwash. I don't think there's giants. I've seen a lot of pictures of like, oh, we did this excavation in Toronto
always,
and we uncovered a giant's bones under this thing. No, you didn't. Don't give me that. They're all
I always
they're all
pair
bullshit.
the angels and the fallen angels and stuff with Greek mythology.
With the Greek mythology, not so much the biblical Abrahamic mythology.
No, they're one and the same.
They're not.
To me, I believe that Hercules, Zeus, Hades, even all the other these were all fallen.
So was Hercules Samson and Zeus was God and
No, they were fallen angels.
think so?
I believe so.
I just think they're the same kind of gods passed down. Like, okay, so you know how everybody worships Yahweh, right?
But see, they were said to
Yeah.
live on top of Mount Olympus, right? Which was on Earth.
Yeah.
God
It
is
wasn't on Earth.
Well, it was on the highest.
No,
Mount,
Mount
was it
Olympus
not?
was still in no, it was still in this, it was still outside of the realm of human.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Mhm.
But I
Because
don't
they
know.
looked down on Earth. Remember, they had like it was like almost like a board game that they'd put humans
Yeah.
on, and that was the Earth. They had their Earth was like the game table.
Yeah, but to me, like their whole fallen thing was they wanted to be gods. So they came down and made themselves gods among men.
Okay, I can get that. So where does Satan fall into that then? Because he was the morning star who was cast out of heaven for wanting to be godlike.
I mean, that's who took the fallen angels with him. Like he just.
You think it was actually Lucifer who brought the Zeus and Loki and all them with him?
Well, I don't think they were. I don't think they were like named Zeus, Loki. But I think they were like you said, because he took a bunch of angels with him when he left.
A third of the angels.
Yeah, a third of the angels went with him, and obviously Lucifer, the Lightbringer, not ugly, not red and pointy, and
No, no, not at all.
One of God's most beautiful angels.
Yes.
Like I said, I think they came down, they mated with the women and stuff like that, and they filled themselves with the pleasures of the world, and made themselves gods amongst men.
Well,
Okay.
speaking of biblical, here's another.
And I think that was to spite God. Like you're not the only one that you can be a god. Like look at the people that you came down here and died for. They worship us.
Mean.
Now you have Aphrodite. Have your statues of all these other statues of all these gods.
Well, those are actually considered demigods, the ones that the gods mated with.
Yeah, but
like
the demigods. Yeah, but I'm saying that's the Hercules are the
right.
offsprings of fallen angels and humans
and gods,
which was said, what's said to be what the Nephilims were.
Mm-hmm.
But
and then there's a talk that the Nephilim were actually Anunnaki, which came from another planet to come here and mine gold. Which,
but again,
by the way,
outer space or heaven is another planet.
It kind of. I get what you're saying. But there is so much gold in the universe that they don't need to come here to get it.
No.
I think that part of the story is hogwash. That they came here.
I think that Earth does have some minerals.
Miners.
I mean, even now with science, you look at it and say, okay, the Earth is one of the few planets that are inhabitable or habitable.
Did you guys hear that our the moon is rusting?
Yeah,
no,
I heard that.
And like the word, it's rusting with a certain mineral, and the word that
iron would.
I forget what it's called. It's like there's a name. I forget what the name was, but it translates to blood. And they're all talking about how it's biblical, how the moon will turn to blood.
Well, there's talk that they're talking about that means an eclipse. I mean, we just had a blood moon.
I think what people fail to realize is
different though.
The language that we have now is a million times different than the language and the words, the vocabulary that they had back then.
Of course.
So what they describe, we have to take with a grain of salt because it's not in a literal sense. Because they are describing in the best way that they can what they are seeing.
So you grew up in a religious family, and you know how we like the alien shit, right? Mm-hmm. When they said that Elijah went up to heaven in a fiery chariot, do you believe that maybe it was a UFO that took him into space?
It could be. It could well be. I mean, it could be. I mean, what is a UFO? Unidentified flying object.
I'm saying, do you think it was a spaceship?
Like an actual, futuristic, tech.
Yeah, they said it was like a fiery dragon soaring through the sky.
I mean,
he said when he was up there, he could see rivers and mountains that were unfamiliar to him.
I mean, he could
be above the earth. He could see all kinds of shit.
It could be. He could have been enveloped in some kind of war. So I mean, like I said, it's. There's no doubt in my mind that there are things in this world that are unexplainable.
Right.
So with that, I have to take everything with that much knowledge and say, look, nothing in this world I think is impossible. There are things. I mean, look at, and I hate to say this, but look at platypuses. You know what I'm saying? Look at octopuses. Look at the regeneration capabilities of some animals. You know what I'm saying? The chameleon effects, things that are just crazy.
Well, DNA splits to where DNA splits versus due to evolution.
But I mean, look at electric eels.
Okay.
I mean, to generate electricity through their body.
Yeah.
This stuff is crazy. You know what I'm saying? To think about it, like if we can sit there and what is the walrus thing with the horn?
Oh, the narwhal.
Rhinoceros?
Narwhal, right?
Oh, so the walrus thing.
A walrus with a horn, but a horse with a horn is crazy. You see what I'm saying?
Who
So it's
said
like
it didn't exist? How many species have
but
gone
I'm saying though,
extinct?
when I have to take everything the way that I look at things is that's how I say. So this exists, but you're expecting me to say, "Oh hell no" to the unicorn.
Right.
You know
I get
what I'm
what
saying?
you're saying.
So I have to take all of that and say what is truly impossible. You know,
What is truly impossible?
So, but there's any other videos that you wanted to show us?
Yeah, I just let's see.
The creepiest glitch in the Matrix you've experienced. My friend Sarah was in a nightclub drunk off her face when she got an overwhelming urge to tell a
I have
total
two more.
stranger that her leg
This one and
hurts.
another one.
Edit. It didn't hurt at the time. She just had an urge to say it. It's all a bit strange. She ignored it, but it doesn't stop. So she walks up to this guy and says, "I know this is crazy, but I've got a huge urge to tell you that my leg hurts. I know that's crazy again. Sorry." He bursts into tears. Turns out his dad had just died, and they made a pact before that if there was an afterlife, he would get a message to him saying a totally random phrase so there could be no mistakes, which they decided on the phrase was, "I've hurt my leg."
Oh, shut up.
Fucking God.
Nah, I think that's hogwash. That
You
sounds
think?
like bullshit to me.
All right. I mean, I have more videos, but
Okay, so
on the
you want to help so much. You want to leave messages from the afterlife. Why don't you send her the fucking lottery numbers?
I don't think you
Not,
see
I hurt my
see
leg.
the future in the.
yeah.
I'm just saying.
But you have to be so random though. Like, you know, like I think if I were to come back, if I were to tell my mom, like, hey, you know, if I go before you do and I want to give you a sign that I'm here, like I would tell her some fucking random ass thing too. Like,
Right?
this is
I would
how
say
you know I'm here.
the turkeys shit purple eggs. If some guy walks up to the street and says, "Hey, by the way, the turkey shit purple eggs," you're like, "Dad?" You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then you know. My leg
Yeah.
hurts. Well, poor you. Get the fuck out of my way.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of things that are unexplainable. You know what I'm saying? We all get urges, especially as parents, to do things. You know what I'm saying? You know,
Well, we
pull
all
your
want to
kids,
explain stuff.
pull your kids, you know, away from like certain
All right.
areas, and something happens.
Laws, before you even play this video, the guy has been everybody.
Yeah,
knows this
he's
guy
not Robin.
is- He's
Oh,
not
he
Robin
debunked it?
Williams.
All right, let's do
Yeah,
another
it's
one then.
completely. But go and show it. Show it. Let's see it though. So
Oh,
he is very good, but it's been debunked. It's actual.
Was it?
Impersonator. Yeah.
Damn.
Robin Williams. That's a guy named Uncle Pappy, and he's on all the social media platforms. And well, he just happens to have an uncanny resemblance to a certain Robin Williams. And he wears a
Why, 'cause
funny
they
little
both have
necklace
mustaches?
right there. Let's take a closer look. Oh, it looks like an all-seeing eye. Kind of like the one Robin used to reference quite a bit. Do you
Reference
see
where?
what I see?
Where did he
Well,
wear
you
that
wanna know
necklace?
something kind of funny
He didn't
about
wear the
Uncle
necklace.
Pappy?
He referenced
He does
the
an
eye, though,
uncanny
by his
Robin
hand
Williams
movement.
Oh, look the fuck out.
impersonation.
Seems I can't make a video without people comparing me to Robin Williams, and that man brings a damn tear of joy to my eye. I love him so much, man. So I'm gonna do a little Robin impression for y'all, okay? This is Robin Williams talking to me about swimming with the alligators. Let me see now. Pappy, you swim with the alligators. If you get attacked, it's not your fault. It's not your fault. It's a grand adventure. I don't know, man. Go easy on me. I'm just tired, man. I packed it a lot.
And then it'd be real strange
That's pretty good.
if he looked like him and sounded like him and had the exact same birthmarks too. It'd be pretty strange, wouldn't it? Pretty strange.
If you
All for entertainment
take
purposes. Of course,
this
I know
back
he was depressed,
into
yeah.
religious, we all came from the same litter.
He also
Right.
has the same liver spot too that he was pointing out in a different video I watched. This guy has a liver spot right here, and then Robin Williams had a liver spot right there too.
But
The
if we
comments
also
are the
believe in
best.
doppelgangers,
Okay, let's talk about that for half a second. I had a weird experience where I walked into a 7-Eleven one time to get a Slurpee, and as I walked to the cash register, this guy walked in, and he looked a lot like me, and we both stopped and we stared at each other for 10 seconds. It was like this look of like we both knew that something was fucking. There was a weird connection in the universe, and then we moved on. But we both looked a lot alike. That was the thing.
I get people telling me all the
crazy.
time that haven't I met you before? Nope.
I get people do that shit too. They're like, "No, you live somewhere." I was like, "No." He's like, "You look a lot like this guy out there."
Everybody tells me I look like Jennifer Lopez. I don't see it, but I'll take it.
I mean, I kind of see it.
You do from the ankles down.
Your love got me looking so crazy right now. All right, you got one more for us, Lozzie? Let's wrap it up.
Yeah.
We're getting there.
There's 3 things that will be revealed after our deaths that exist now.
What do you mean?
What?
There is a letter from Queen Elizabeth written to the mayor of Sydney, and she says, please don't open this letter until 2085, or it's being held in a like secret vault in Sydney, Australia.
Interesting.
Wow.
Like something big. But then there's a movie called 100 Years, the movie
Yeah,
you'll
I've heard
never
about
see,
that.
but it's starring John Malkovich.
Okay.
And it's to be released in theaters or to the public in 2115.
Really?
They
Wow.
filmed it in 2015, and no one will see it until 100 years goes by.
Lame.
What if they know exactly what happens
Lame.
to us and they just made it?
What
to
if
a
John
movie?
Malkovich is a time traveler?
And then the last thing,
Shut
which
up.
was super weird, Jackie Kennedy's bloody pink suit, the suit that she was wearing
Yeah.
when JFK was shot, it's been held in a vault, secret. Like no one's allowed to see it. And they said they will release it to the public October 26, 2103.
Weird. Why?
Alien blood.
Don't know.
Alien blood.
You know that there's-
What do you mean?
Wait, I have
That's
one
fine.
more to show you guys. Can I
JFK
show
is
you
a
this
fucking
last
alien.
one?
Yeah, show us one more.
Okay,
No, that's
I
all
have
right.
one more.
Well,
This
guys,
one,
thanks for joining us tonight. I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Again.
this one's crazy too.
You just love
Agree
this.
that the Trump
We're giving these podcast guys all the beef here.
No, you're kidding.
Jeez.
or time
Too bad they're
travelers.
full of
Give me a
shit.
DeLorean.
This connects to guess
Give
who?
me a DeLorean.
Nikola Tesla.
No way.
Nikola Tesla died in the New York hotel or something. And within his hotel that he had 80 plus trunks of all his patents, his designs for different
Yeah, it's all
technologies, all this
taken by
stuff.
the
Guess who
government.
they sent first to go and collect the stuff?
I don't know.
John G. Trump, Donald Trump's uncle.
What?
Weird.
So the theory is that he took some of these trunks.
Oh no.
Oh no.
But Tesla said that he had figured out how to bend time.
Yeah.
And so
As one does.
the theory is Donald
As one
Trump's
does.
uncle took this, created a time machine,
Oh my gosh.
and traveled back in time and like did all this stuff. But then the weird connection is there was a book that came out in 1896, and it's called Baron Trump's Marvelous Underground Journey.
Okay, so someone else named Baron Trump, or you're saying
Do you know
it
what
was
do you-
actually
do you-
Baron
do you
Trump?
know what the book was about?
What?
Time travel?
Baron Trump time traveling.
No!
Shut up.
And he did it all with a
Stop.
small loan of $1 million.
Right.
from my
So
father.
his industrialist billionaire father or millionaire father, who had to spend every waking moment of his life building his hi building his real estate empire, had time to stop and build a time machine, which probably takes 20 years to figure that shit out, even with the best notes, and then sent Baron Trump back in time. No, I'm sorry.
They say there's another connection because there was another book that was written called The Last President, and it was about someone named Trump, something Trump as well.
I just don't. I don't see it.
Yeah.
By the way, guys, if you guys are watching these videos like the Code Red and shit, remember correlation does not mean causation. Just saying.
Whatever that means. But guys, it's time for my favorite segment. Before we enter, before we leave, before we say goodnight, it's time for
I thought I
my
was getting out of
favorite
this.
segment. And I know probably yours. And if you don't want to cry, I suggest you see your way out. But it's time for this segment where we make Spicy cry. You ready?
Make
ready.
Spicy cry.
I hate you so
Make
much.
Spicy cry.
All right.
All right, let me see it.
Let's see. Here we go.
Make it bigger. Don't you know how to do that?
How do you do that?
You just click the 3 dots on the right hand corner of the screen and just make your web browser bigger.
Just play it. I can see it.
Just play it. Yeah, it's fine.
Father's
Somebody
deepest fear isn't
zoom?
dying.
Somebody zooming?
Yeah, Zoom.
Father's deepest fear isn't dying, but to not have enough time to show them how to face the world without him.
Is that it?
Didn't do it for me today.
No?
No,
That's only-
because
that's
I
only
do
one.
every I do everything in my power to make sure my kids are prepared for the world, so it's not a fear of mine. It's not
It's
something
not
I feel
okay.
deeply.
Okay.
Your dad's gonna croak someday, man, and you're just gonna have to deal with it.
He's gonna have to fucking deal with it, motherfucker.
All right.
Get on with
all right.
life.
Let's try this one here.
Hi, Dad. Good night, Daddy. I love you.
And never, yeah, I know this.
Good night, Daddy. I love you.
Next.
Not so good.
Laws, this ain't for you. Hush your mouth.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, I got one more. If this one don't do it. Yeah.
All right, show me. You got me spoiled for 2 now, so I don't know if I've got it in me. I feel snarky.
Right, here we go.
Let me see it.
Everyone makes mistakes. Don't give people a hard time. You can see the pain in his face. Dumbass. I'm just kidding.
You dropped the baby.
Oh, look at that. He's like feeling it at the end, though.
That
Come
sucks.
on, if you've never been that broken before, you don't understand. If you never had a moment or a day where you feel like nothing in the world was right for you. The one simplest thing that you try to do.
All right, you got to kill the music first. That sucks. But it's not. It made me cry because he dropped a perfectly good pizza, even though it was, Domino's. Maybe that's why I didn't feel so bad, because it was a chain instead of a mom and pop good store.
Well, like I said,
Not tonight. Not tonight.
well,
Look,
like I
the
said,
eyes are white. No
they're
tears.
right. He got away. He got away. He got away. But like I said, it comes
You
down
got away tonight.
It comes down to this. When you do something every day for the entirety of your life, you do it at work and you do this. And there's that one day where everything, because it all just like men pile it on and on and on, and we never really talk about our feelings, never talk about how we feel. And nobody ever asks us, "Hey,
No,
okay, Dan?"
that's true.
Nobody really asks us and
That's
gives a
true.
shit. So we bottle it all up, everything, and we're always on the go, always trying to look out for everybody else. We're looking for, "Hey, are you okay? Do you need anything? You want me to do anything? You want me to get something to eat? Are you all right?" Meanwhile, dealing with our own depression and our own inside voice telling us, that we're not good enough, or that we need to be doing more. We need to be constantly doing more. And when you do something, and then every little thing starts to go wrong, just boom, one after.
Are you trying to extend the make spicy cry? Because now you're giving me
No.
feels. You
I'm just saying
motherfucker.
that was our.
Shut up. I know what you're doing here. I know what you're doing.
I live this shit
Trying to make
every
spicy
single day.
cry, you
Okay?
motherfucker.
Oh,
I live
God.
this.
You were trying to make spicy cry.
Jeez. We're gonna have to mute Laws.
almost did it, too.
Though.
Look,
She be
you almost
laughing
did
and
it.
stuff. I thought I know I was getting there. I was like, I'm gonna hit you.
You were almost. I was on the verge, man. I got the feels in my heart when you were talking like that. I'm like, shit, yeah, man. I
Sorry.
feel you.
You know what I'm
And then
saying?
Laws had to bust it up.
Yeah. But
All right,
guys,
we gotta
that's all
wrap
we
this
have.
up, though.
Guys, we appreciate you being here, guys. Thanks. Always make sure you like, share, subscribe, guys.
Oh, wait.
Yeah.
One last bit of news. I got a new Behind the Pint coming out probably in about 2 weeks, starring our own Miss Lozzie.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's
Guys,
gonna
if you're not
sit down.
familiar with what Behind the Pine is, it's real people, real stories, real I
Beer.
don't want to say drama.
No,
You
real.
guys want to point and laugh and use some blackmail material? Come check it out.
Not at
Yeah,
all.
but no.
The whole point of the show is strength through adversity.
It's
That's
understanding that despite being miles apart, you never know how truly what's the word I'm looking for? Relatable. People
This
can
ain't
be.
make spicy cry. Stop it.
No, I
But
agree.
yeah, it's understanding that no matter what color we are, where we're from, a lot of us share a lot of the same trauma and the same past as everybody else. And again, like I said, if that's something that you want to hear or want to listen to, I recommend that you go back and check out all of the Behind the Pints. on YouTube.
By the way, just a warning for that. We're probably going to get trashed. But that's the point. That's why we call it Behind the Pint.
Oh, me and you.
We're gonna drink and talk.
Yeah.
But we're gonna do that tomorrow, though. Y'all join us tomorrow. We're gonna be live and we're gonna do karaoke.
That's right. We're doing the karaoke tomorrow night.
right.
Check out the streams. You know where to find us.
As always, I'm Phat.
I'm Spicy.
I'm Liz.
Bye, Lozzie.
Right there.
Donate. It's up there.
Let's
Donate to our
scratch your little
PayPal.
head. Yeah, but don't forget to donate, guys. You see the little PayPal
Donate.
thing right there. All you gotta do is scan. It made it easy for you guys. Just boop, $5 from your mom's purse.
From your mommy's purse.
Mama, get your money.
All right.
Dude, I can't
We'll
wait
see you
to
guys next week.
I'm gonna.
Dude, I can't.